People, can we get a moment of silence for all our fallen soldiers, our fallen people? Peace. Wish we could have buried you back home in Africa. You'll see me when I
IHF.
AHF.
You know we do how you want. Yo, big open mind, open mic. Throw the darkness. Yeah,
Ruckus, what up?
Hey yo, I'm a Sun Falcon. Yo, hey yo. Color represents truth, deepness. Like there'll be no earth. What happens to the crops? Just like when God's plagues come to infest the harvest. Artists, you use my honest touch with homicide. A bun gave pride, so they charge me with homicide. Stay wide cause I'm black. Tap into my mental easily. Suppress anything beastly because I'm black. They want me, don't intend that. It's in their nature and not how they act. It's racist. We act racist because I'm black. Of races that come from many places. No thanks to oppressors. Because I'm black, they want me around guns and weapons. That because I'm black, I can't. Religion got some serving a picture for a master. Jesus was black. Because I'm black, civilizations were founded on us. Because I'm black, my mountains are not Caucasus. I know you're hearing and understand. I'm black, I'm not bought. Vaccine that mix with designer drugs and make you a crack fiend. My universities were sacred mystery stools, now restricted. Melanin causes blacks to be also quickly addicted to drugs and sex. The father of medicine is Imhotep. Because I'm black, I know that the Khazarians established the NAACP. Because I'm black, it should not be fooled with darkness. Original sun child doesn't belong in the concrete Arctic. Yeah.
People.
Yeah. IHF. IHF.
All day and night, IHF. It'll hunt the feds, you know what I mean?
Everybody.
Yo, this here's for them heathens who step on my path. They end up in a guns blast, decapitating 5-0 who drive slow through metro. Time for them shackers to let go. I lost the rep scar. Bro, the gods know I love to see drug bust and cat go bad. Send a boy them to rehab. I love to see them waving their white flags and shoot body parts wrapped up in garbage bags. Drag queens, we burn the fire button. Push them off the bluffs with 20-pound ankle weights. Honestly, I can't wait. Disintegrates when it hits the jagged rocks. I love to dig mad burial clots for cops. You know what I mean? Jacket beat volume tape number 1.
Big up to the whole fam, Henchmanati, you know what I'm saying? Big up for Midnight for putting down these beats down that we jack and not charity.
Yeah, yeah, he's clear. IHF, yo, bigger. Caliber assault, never ending. Lead showers, screw on your silencers. Violent rap, graphic talk, fuck a cop, hench nigga. You talk shit and catch a hot slug floating through your liver. Through enough to make you reconsider. You'll run up a natural born killer, then spill another clip on bystanders. Innocent but still play the role. We raising up the standards. 5-0 never get a straight answer. Taking lives like a case of cancer. You're not sure, so stop. Catch me off in dreamlands under the hot Trini sun basking. Your latest fashion. Whether a GQ or thug that in fatigues, you get your skull smashed in. Objects and face bashed in, but bloody knuckles, uptowns and Timbos. You hear my team laughing, regaining consciousness. You find yourself in our custody. You know the team, your IHF ministry, the type of niggas wearing strongholds and fighting pants. Revolution time, shooting out street lamps, pushing stakes through vans, rigging squad cars to blow like a special fuck you from that nigga Ho-Chi. Want my people spread love, sometimes I spread hate on duck plates. Leaving clubs trimmed with yellow tape, nigga. IHF representatives, do it good. IHF coming right up to your fucking hood. IHF, IHF, yeah.
Yo, IHF.
Jack you.
Yo, I place myself in your genesis and ISIS. The crisis, your soul in a headlock. On those with dreadlocks is worse than those cut by Samson's curse. Cutting your hair makes your tree of life become a hedge. I was the one that made it. I made Africans think there's money in selling cocaine. Anything involving money in Africans is African annihilation. Michael Jordan is Nike plantation. A lot of you will laugh and think I'm not talking about you. My free zones are free labor. Go pay $2 for a shoe. And those boots with the slave tree hanging logo make you pierce your ears and following commercial rapping queers. Michael Jackson said blatant, the devil owns Sony. And like the fools you are, you're still supporting Sony. Me and the reason I sit on Sambo's soul as my throne. God made the oceans and seas, but they want rivers like Joe. Typical niggas, descendants of the nigga factory, wanting not to better for themselves. No self-sufficiency, living off others' wealth. Respecting other nations, not respecting themselves. Transformed during the winter solstice to Satan's elves. So when you hear police chiefs warning you of gang violence, we are making African time for a few moments of silence. Genocidal tactic, most time I'm thinking through you. I mix with harlots and vixens too. Your agenda is non-violence, non-unity, and non-love. You've lost and won't find the connection to the channel above. If you only knew your worth is more than physical attachments, spend more time training, stop going to fucking bastards. Cause the devil uses club energy like arena energy, wasting your chi on violence and TV. African men destroy their own temples, not the mosque or church, but the one that holds the swords between your temples. The slavery for millennium is all mental, soon will be against sentinels.
Your son Falcon, the fucking mic is smoking. You see that? It's crazy right now. Sure. Man's been repping Jay-Z. What you dealing with? Jay-Z stands for Jehovah. You know that? And Jah is God and Hova's destruction. So that's really good. You know what I mean? What's really, really good? Do some research, people. Rockefeller, do some research. Yo, hey yo, my love letters. Yeah, chain letter. You know my love letters. I know you love my. Yo, my love letters end with your rest in peace. The name's Huey Heights, eternal hunter of the beast. You know the war field marshal. My hate is impartial. I spread it freely like O2, especially if I don't know you. From east to west coast to withdraws. From east to west coast, so withdraws to the postal. You know envelopes filled with dust and chain letters. G to get ya. Go frame. Hollow points anoint your joints like blessing wood. You lynch them whites and rosewood. It's all good. It's over trying to start not overstand. My ink changes colors like chameleons. Words disappear like visions from fake mediums. To all you rappers out now, straight up, I ain't feeling them. You're pumping up the flat helium. You can't slap box with God. You got a style that's fraud. I flirt with Mother Nature to build a force field of fog. You know my love letters covered in curse words. We riddle up white flags, fag, no peace, no birds. We take this mic like a shepherd to his herd. Yo, twirl my style rings that comes on easy nerves. No fast move, take it easy, nerd. Your draw's smelly. Discretion advised, refrain from talking on sellies. The beast a hungry dog, he wants you trapped in his belly. I don't want to believe what CNN try to pass up and tell me. Keep your baby blue soldiers on your own compound. Cause like the weed man, I ain't afraid to mow y'all down. Spray it with toxic mixtures to end your existence. Where the Civil War started, I seen it all from a distance. Kill them all at God, sort them out. While God rejected DNA for reference, you suffer and suck. Condition yourself to fear nothing and forever last. My love, I just hatchet men who walk the shit for life. Yeah, my love letters delivered by I just hatchet street. Yeah, waiting for life to end. Though some had goals to rule the world and drive a band, so stock up automatic kits for the wounds you'll have to mend. I'm not here to push a repo. Yo, everything my eyes touch is mine. Excuse me, people. Genetical engineers want to make me a sequel. My DNA is unexplainable for those who deal with evil. Thing against star cars. It's all about lying paws and henchmen laws. My love letters explain why y'all can't enter our lodge and how much it takes for challengers to mess with our squad. Every few letters spell out a whole new insight, like how human life forms without wings can take flight. You flip the page upside down and read between the lines, but don't try to overstand that, cause they'll get stuck in your mind. Express delivery to 41. We scoop your pot of gold and your whole stockpile of guns. Before you got yammed, I was never one to run. Now it's time for us to rise up in the morning. I spread my wings to blind the sadistic. When I'm gone, you read my hieroglyphics, baby.
Sun Falcon,
mixtape volume. MG, my turn. You know that's how it be. Community, the dream of the Olympians, the Greek Roman wrestlers. This one's for you. This one's for you. All the men reppin', boys in blue. Ho Chi Minh, aka Demolition Man. I'm ill hunter body man like Mel last man. Crush pagans, sodomites and Satan. With the council of the ungodly, there's no relation. So check around me, the ill hunter of the century. Down 100, slew them if you wanna find me. Hey yo, imagine when the gay parade kick off next year. See Sus and Ho Chi spray up young and blood till the streets clear. You think I stop there? Shot about the boy far there. You can't stop my hollow point, so they find bodies to tear. So straight hunting, firebar Masonic function. They tried to fireworks like Pope Paul, let me show you something. You see when panty men see me, they hot-tailored and run. It's like they're proud to be gay, but still afraid of my gun. It's time to get burned, like a redhead in the sun. Give y'all a basic overview about how the actors run. I keep the wicked man ducking like he's practicing squats. They know I cook up judgment and serve them all gunshots. Screw on your silencers and wet them up like birds chirping. For my man who giving sweet eyes like Gershon. Promote same-sex relationships, this world gone mad. Got niggas coming out of the closet like a blood clot flash. Straight up, you come out of the closet, find your house in flames. Oh, Jesus Christ died to save you, screaming guns in the flame. Yeah, I hate backing and avoiding, no, that's just that. But for the record, same applies to man, them, we can't. Fucking bitch-ass niggas. You know, cat got you talking something? We promote ill hunting, rainbow flag burning, black people uplifting, world domination, you know what I mean? And if we offended anyone, just accept that shit, you know what I mean?
Fake tears run down the face of clowns and puppets. Our children getting started on drugs early from druggists. Fourth and African minds are sluggish, wanting to burn all African knowledge. You know, Europe made Africa underdeveloped to say they were the fathers of civilization. They must be on PlayStation. I won't be playing in your one world revolution against go-ahead concepts. The state of emergency and the president is not a bomb threat. They tell us avoid the curse but come to the wrong. In Black History Season, master of ancient arts from the British Museum. For you to know they own property belongs to them. They raped my wife, killed my children, but they call me friend. Sellouts and sambos, work is never done. Tax money is spent. African men in concentration camps take over the pen. Sit down with the warden. Ask why y'all rehabilitation is free labor. In my community, you can't even trust the mayor. His slogan gives alcohol-free advertisement. Knowledge on CDs and video available on consignment. We educators are right stripped of the knowledge, the capstone of the mental pyramid tip. African men need to entertain or refrain from queering it. Most don't even know the best life lie hearing it and believing it. How many African man murders go unsolved? Proof that we live where we don't belong. A fight for civil rights, and you take it away. It feels like I only have rights if I'm white or gay. Dalai Lama getting a doctorate honor for USTPR. It's all business. United States government, it's all business. From presidents to secretaries and vice presidents, you bump 50 cents and treat my testaments as irrelevant. Yeah, I'm talking to you slaves still eating oxtail and comfort soup, scraps. That's what you have, you killing yourself with their poison. You act as if European is your measuring stick for intelligence. This is so annoying. Many of them are so lost it can't be found. You know that's how pound for pound.
Crazy. Crazy. Some people think that they're ready.
ready.
Nah, they ain't ready.
Some people think they're ready, but they're not ready.
I know they ain't. I know they ain't.
Islam to all the Moors. We're here, Canaanland Moors class. Tuesday. We're still correcting Black History Month. We just wanted to clear before we get going. So certain people like to go. So we told you that they're Moriscos long time ago, right? Show where he had his little show where he's talking about, yeah, here's the video where Cujo can't stuff, but I'm not gonna play his video because if I play his video, you know, they're gonna complain on my channel, get me shut down. Hey, F you, buddy, because we already have you, right? We already have you, that you're the sellout and the traitor. Due to a copyright takedown notice that we received, we had to take down your video from YouTube. Video title, Canaanland Moors Honorary Temple Member Shuts Down Morisco World TV. Video URL, www.youtube.com/watch?v equal X8Q901GENAG. Taken down, issued by who? Taharka Bey. Because YouTube keeps records. Even though you might be a dumbass and not keep records, YouTube keeps records. This means that your video can no longer be played on YouTube. So do not let these people convince you that they don't work for the other side. There's nobody out there that's telling you anything that works for you, that thinks on your behalf, that's on what you're on. Anybody. And we've been doing maybe 6 years worth of exposing dirty Moors. Just go through all those videos. How much dirty Moors videos we have? How come? Well, that we call dirty and all that stuff. Where they at? How come they disappeared? You never tried to play? How come those people stopped talking? Why they stop talking for? Maybe because they were dirty. But some people like to play games. So let them play. Just putting it on the record that the real snitch, the real run to the European on your brother is Taharka Bey. It's not Cujo, right? Because they use my picture in all types of BS. And I didn't complain on none of them videos. And you can go check because there's a record. Never once. But we have this record right here. That this sellout who has a fez on picture in his stuff, who has Moroccan flag, is playing around with your birthright. And these are the same people, all these are the same people who's told you that there's, you know, that got invited to flag raising for Morocco. And on top of that, more, you could jump in anytime with regard to this, and we'll go where we're going, because this is something that I wanted to actually get your perspective on. Maybe even if you heard about it, you might not even heard about it. Mm-hmm. So how is it that they're having a Moroccan day flag raising of the Moroccan flag, and these Moors with turbans and fezzes on have somebody up there singing Star Spangled Banner? You tell me these people, these are Moorish Americans that have Moorish Science Temple of America singing Star Spangled Banner for Morocco flag waving. What more do you need to know that these people sold out your birthright to these colonists? Sold out your birthright to these colonists. But I'm going to yield the floor because I already talked enough. Islam more.
Islam, bro. Islam. Islam, family. Islam. Hey, this is my first time hearing about this, bro.
All right. So, like we were saying in class before, right? How is it that there's Moors in North America, South America, Central America, adjoining islands? There's Moors there, but only 12 to 30 Moors know about the Moroccan flag raising that happened in Philadelphia, where the city said, we're going to raise this flag to give honors to Morocco, you know, but they didn't raise the flag in North Africa. They raised the flag over here. Nobody's not paying attention to that or any of that, you know. You're not watching that stuff. They're just looking at these 30 Moors. Like, this is it.
Wow.
You guys talk all this BS online and stuff like that. You got classes and 30 more showed up for the flag raising of the Morocco flag. And then on top of that, you're there singing Star Spangled Banner. You couldn't find a Morocco song to sing. Couldn't sing the prayer.
That's pretty rough right there, bro.
Bro. And it was only live on Facebook because a Moor, who's, you know, active Moor, who build with the Moor, you know what I mean, said that there was nobody there to record it. So he's going to put it on Facebook Live so there could be at least be a record of it.
Wow.
And remember, it was Moors that set this up. Moors in the Moorish Science Temple of America were the contact for this thing to happen. Whether, you know, they applied for something and they got it, or the city said, hey, we're going to be doing this. Could you please be present? And then those people took it on themselves to be present, but not tell anybody else.
Wow. Hey, I want to ask you a question, Sheik. What day did this fall on?
I believe it was either 8th or the 9th.
Wow. Yeah, that's an issue. That's without a doubt.
Right.
Yeah, that's an issue.
And more Science Temple of America, right? More Science Temple of America people and say they're not teaching Noble Drew Ali's teachings or whatever. Those people were called to be there. Only them, though. Right? On some fame and nobility BS. Remember, this is More Science Temple of America we're talking about, and we're not talking about us because we're More Science Temple of America. But don't think that there's some Morocco flag. We're not going live and telling everybody that this is going on. Make sure they show up. Right? Yeah, and the Moor said that it was on the 8th. What, you know, we're as far as active Moors, which is why, you know, we have today you know, in opinion, and opinion is no proof of truth, but, you know, I can have my say, right? That there's a certain level of courage, you know what I mean? And when we look at what people have gone through, active Moors, like people deserve the bow and all that, because you can just do and sacrifice for themselves, but they also sacrifice for the nation. And stories that I've heard from our interviewee today, and the people that he's been around and stories I've heard with them, we know that this is bigger than what people perceive it as. And it's few, just like we know, you know, there's few Fontes, ain't many like him.
Yes, sir.
There's few, you know, Mizrahims. You know, there's many that have it a certain way. You know, there's few Asirs. You know, there's few Hemets and all these people. You know, and today is going to be a lesson, right? So we're going to our interview, but it's really the build, because this is just what we do. You know what? Before you introduce yourself, I'll just lead into the first question. The importance of these teachings, you know, the new people that look at it, you know, like some religious whatever. But the floor is yours, Mark.
It's long. It's long. I appreciate you having me on, Brother Mario L. Bay. You spoke about Drew Ali. Want a little small story. I remember the first time I heard about it, maybe 2002, and it was in a rap song. I don't know if you're familiar with Immortal Technique. Your technique?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time I heard of Drew Ali. But the way he pronounced, I thought it was like that was his first name, so to speak. Again, I believe it was from like Wu-Tang. Somebody from Wu-Tang, maybe.
Yeah.
Now, Drew Ali, you know, I was like, who is this? Because I never heard of him. I heard of Garvey, you know, folks that were doing their thing. But who is Drew Ali? I ended up finding out about him through, I guess I would say like a situation I had through myself. And during that, myself and the teachings that he prepared for us. And the first thing I came into Ali was the divine warning. Stuck with me. Like the divine warning really stuck with time. I had to really enforce, like people know every time I always say it, I really had to enforce law, but you got to bring it up to Ali. And the divine warning, Mr. America, that's on my way. Like, it really sent me on my way. There's a lot of people come to Montana, they ask about this, as you do this, how you do that. But I always want to know about the process.
Straight up.
The prophet brought this information to us in its purest form, knowing ourselves. At the end of the day, it's all about, you know. So, long story short, man, the prophet, and I read it, it was interesting to me. You know, it was refreshing. It was like it was new, clean on to me. And I always tell brothers, you know, gotta know what's up with the prophet. And you know, you got to going around saying voice. The people that deal with the quote unquote father citizen movement, it's literature.
Right.
Am I right or wrong?
No, you're definitely right.
Hell, deal with it at all. So again, you know, we got to take it back to the basics. We got to give this literature and live it as such. You know, that's how people ask me all the time, how did you do that? I started off with it, and it hadn't left either. You know, I live like my forefathers and foremothers. You know, that.
Actually, that leads into the next question. When that this is divine and national.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that something people dealt with, or is it something that he brought?
Oh, that's ancient.
Because you brought up foremothers and forefathers, and a lot of our something is being their foremothers and forefathers.
Mm-hmm.
What's your perspective of the forefathers?
Well, honestly, it's all about living exactly how they live. You know, in all aspects. You know, I try to I just going pumping it to those that are listening, friends. This is, you know, one-on-one. And so what's is divine? You know, it's a higher power type of thing. And of course it's natural and most ancient. It's not new.
Islam, you there?
I'm here, brother.
Oh, right. Now, as far as mentioned active morals, you know, what does that entail when, from your perspective, a more that says, okay, I want to go the path of being an active more? Like, what would they consider?
Well, I go back to, well, you know what? We can go back to the 101. How did the prophet begin to uplift the Moorish Americans? And it's by teaching them, you know, and again, being themselves, living like your foremothers and your forefathers, to think the way that they thought.
Now, there was also another thing, you know, other Moors in Virginia, and So just this one.
Okay.
February 12th, 2018. And again, this is the again, right? So City of Virginia Beach, Virginia. Landmarks of our nation's beginnings. Human Rights Commission. February 12th, 2008. Dear Kenneth L., congratulations. The Virginia Beach Human Rights Commission, HRC, is pleased to announce that you have been selected to receive a Human Rights Award at their 12th annual award ceremony on Thursday, 2018 at 7 p.m. Each year, the Commission individuals and groups who have aided in the understanding of cultural diversity, social awareness, and human rights in our community, selected by Commission members based on efforts made in these areas. You were nominated by Jim Park. We hope you will be able to attend a small reception for the honorees, etc., etc. On behalf of the Human Rights Commission, I thank you for dedicating your time and effort to enhancing human rights for those in our community. Sincerely, Rajib Islam, Chairman, Human Rights Commission.
And you said coming from the corporate city of Virginia?
Yeah.
Virginia.
Say that again?
What's it?
Virginia Beach.
Oh, Virginia Beach. Okay.
Yeah, Virginia Beach.
Mm.
We're using this to show the contrast, because these are Moors who, like, for example, part of this Human Rights Award is they have this program in the schools called Men of Distinction.
Okay.
You know what I mean? A mentorship program, you know, where, you know, they donate 2 hours of their time to just do work. Okay.
So honestly, they're just being recognized for being active.
For being active, exactly.
I got you.
Exactly.
I got you. That's a good thing.
Yeah, very good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, most
very
definitely. And you know what? A lot of times as Moors, we can be active, but it may be something behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it may be something that most people may not see, you know, like the masses. You know, because I see brothers out here sometimes, they're not in their first, but they're active with humanity. You know, mm-hmm. I also see guys here that's active in certain ways that the masses don't see. Some recognized and some are recognized.
Yeah.
Today it's all about the duty itself.
And now, when we speak about, again, with Drew Ali, mm-hmm. Are there any parts of the Quran that were escapes for you or helped you deal with any chapters stand out?
You know what? Yeah, honestly, yeah. Chapter 36 mainly and chapter 47 stood out to me. Like, you know, mostly throughout the entire book. 47, I know I'll say 47 mainly, but 36 as well, because during the time that I was trying to find myself, I ended up coming into chapter 36, which is dealing with know thyself. Mm-hmm. You know, and I did a lot of soul searching. during that period of time. I mean, still is, but during that time, I did a whole bunch of soul searching, and I ran into chapter 36, and that was my phase of finding who I am and what is my purpose on this physical plane. But chapter 47, that gave me a better idea of, I would say, you know, the dominions. Dealing with the dominions of what I hit, quote unquote, religiously. I was like, wow, because I always chapter 47 with the proclamation.
Right. Yeah.
So that lets you know right there, all of the city proclamations that's been issued throughout the corporate cities on this continent, they know about chapter 47. Because basically chapter 47 of the Circle 7 Quran is basically them in those
the
proclamations.
Yeah.
Am I right or wrong?
Right, most definitely, right.
You know, so as a matter of fact, I did a video about that. The video is basically saying that I believe your city mayors or your corporate cities know about Noble Ali or something like that. So yeah, chapter 36 and chapter 47 stood out for me. Chapter 40, I mean, that book, but if you want me to name,
yeah, if you could put some, yeah, sure, you could put some.
Most definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, because no, go ahead. Go ahead, Mark. No, go ahead.
Especially beginning of Christianity. Well, speaking for myself, I go Christian side of things, and that's another chapter. You know, because that's deep. You know, especially if you grew up in Christianity, you've been around it all your life, found out this ain't what it is. You feel me more? So yeah, I had most definitely the beginning of Christianity, the capital empire of Domina, Africa, and chapter 36 most definitely. That's what stood out for me, Mark.
Now dealing with the Christianity, because you know, like how involved were you in it, and how hard was it to get out of that? Like with regard to reading what, you know, those chapters that you already told us about Christianity and all that.
Okay, I feel like I came into a difficult plane on the Christian side. You know, my mom was heavily, and still is to this day. We don't really see eye to eye on how we see things nowadays, right? But you know, when you become an adult, man, it is what it is. Right. But anyway, I came into the world on Christianity, and honestly, when I was about 18 to 19, you know, I knew it was BS. I knew it was BS. I'm gonna tell you a little quick story, right?
Yeah, more. Go ahead.
This is what I think I got a little more. At that time, I think I was about right, and I used to do a lot of mixing and mastering during the time with a brother, mix and master, and he used to wear a lot of different symbology, like symbols and that, and he used to wear the ankh all the time, and I was like, I like that. What's that? And he was breaking it down to me. So he was like, here, you can have it. And I was like, okay, cool, man, I appreciate that. So I was wearing the ankh one day, and at that time, my girlfriend had a Christian crossbone, right? And we were out somewhere. I don't know where we were out. We was out somewhere. And it was this brother came up to me. And he walked straight up to me. He didn't say anything to her, but he came and directly said it to me. He was like, "Why you got the ark on and got the Christian cross on?" And I looked at I was like, wow. You know, I've never had anybody to come up to me directly and say, bluntly, you know. It was kind of embarrassing, but at the same time, it was like enlightening.
Right.
You feel me? So I had to think, I really had to think about that, you know. And I was like, damn, I'm waking up, but she's dead.
Yeah.
You know, according to, now, you know, Brother Abdullah has already broken that down. That's another story, though.
That's a 2
you
hours.
Feel me, bro? Yeah, so I'm just speaking on how we looked at things like in a connotative type of manner. You feel me?
Right.
So I really had to check myself on this, you know, because people will approach you and they will test you. So I wasn't really geared up, but I know for one thing, I was able to speak for me. And when I spoke for me, you know, I started to move forward. So I just started kind of doing a little study, and I was kind of out of the church at a very young age, like 18 or 19.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing a lot of searching. And I was always, people would all do my, out in my vicinity and speak about certain things there to build me to where I am now. And I would say about a few years after that's when I heard of Drew Ali. Go back to what I said earlier about. I heard the first time I heard of Noble Drew Ali. That was by Emotion. And from that point, I was just everywhere. I was everywhere, but I was never really like a religious type of truth. Because my dad has a strong quote unquote civil rights background.
Mm-hmm.
So some sort of how can I say it, type of pride for quote unquote race, you know, like race pride.
Right, yeah.
You know, so my dad kind of was almost like strictly in the church. So it was kind of weird, but that's how I found my way throughout everything. And once I found Drew, I was like, this is refreshing because they never taught this in school. I've never heard any of the civil rights guys mention homosexuality. What happened? Like, what is it? What is it?
We stay asking that question.
Yeah, I remember. I'm gonna tell you something else, Sheik. It was about 5 years ago, 5 or 6, probably about 5 years ago. I don't know if you were on the phone call at that time, but it was a Moorish Heritage and History School blog talk going on. And I called in and I asked Mother Rosmariah about are there any Noble Drew Ali recordings?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Miz answered it. No. She answered it. And she was like, none that we know of. And at that time, I was trying to figure out, hold on, you got recordings of Harvey. I mean, you got recordings that go past Drew Ali. So where are all of his audio recordings or even video recordings? Where are they?
Right.
You know, so I wanted to know that, like, I was really trying to find that out. I was very interested.
Is things like that coming to the realization that you know you've been played by your own people. You know what I mean? Like, with regard to this, forget about the other stuff that they played us out of or whatever, but this thing called nationality and birthrights that, you know, we had to find out by ourselves. Do you think that the path would have been different finding it out earlier, or you know, going through all the BS to find this out? This is really the way to find it out.
That's a good question, Sheik. I guess it could work both ways. Now, let me explain. Now, if we would have gotten it earlier, let's just say in the 40s or 50s, all right, it would have been most definitely different because people had and stood on principles then, right? They had morals then. Now what you have a system of people that have no morals or principles. So anything goes. So in my humble opinion, I think if we would have got it earlier, it probably would. Everything happens for a reason.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So then probably wasn't the time. You know, now may not be the time for what we have stored in the future.
Yeah.
You know, but like I said, in my opinion, I think, you know, more than the past, they were more. But a lot of those people probably are and just wouldn't talk.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah.
And just wouldn't talk. And so maybe we that Washington they spoke about. Maybe we need that blue badge.
Because we could go CMB. I was gonna go through the email. Right? Somebody sent the email. I'm not sure if it's Moy or Money or, but we'll say Goody. Goody sent the email asking
Good.
Yeah, just an individual.
Okay.
Saying that somebody in Moorish Holy Temple of Science, number 3, making, you know, claims about CMB. I don't say what they're saying about CMB, but basically that he's a fraud. What are the teachings of CMB? How did you come into that? And do you think he was a student of Noble Drew Ali?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. Well, I mean, my question is this, you know, to anybody that say that he's a fraud, how was he a fraud? That's my first question. How was he fraud? Because the man dealt with straight science. You know what? The average person, I know when I first read like The Clock of Destiny, that's a hard read.
Yeah, most definite.
And I mean, straight up, like, you know how we say study. Drew Ali say study, right? And study yourself. Man, these people ain't studying, man.
Yeah.
And that's a hard, like, even now when I go into, I'm honest with this. Even now when I study C.M. Bay's literature, like, man, like my children, you know, children are children. I really got to be quiet. Like, I really got to be focused because he's dealing with straight men science, which doesn't lie.
Yeah.
So again, that's my question to if they were a fraud. How was he a fraud?
Well, they usually do the same, you know, he didn't teach or not, and all that stuff.
Well,
that's one they go through. That's one thing they say.
Yeah. You're right about that. They do say that, don't they? They do say that. But Drew Ali also said in order to change the people, you must change the literature. So you can look at that in different ways. I think a lot of this information is just too much for some people, and they just make it silly. I really do think that. I think it's just too much. His brother. It's kind of off the subject, but it's this. I knew this brother that did. I think he did 15 down this way. man, cool brother. And I was getting to know some of this information, so I was like teaching them and teaching them and teaching them. And one day, honest, and he was like, bro, I don't know, but I'm just being, I can't do it. It's too much. Yeah. And you know what I told him? That's all good, because guess what? You didn't serve penitentiary, man. I said, man, family.
For real.
You know what I'm saying?
For real.
And you know what? I really respect you and tell me. I've taught in person time of mine, sat down with people, many people, and never hear from them again.
For real.
He was the only brother. That's what I'm talking about. That's the difference from that different cloth that got morals.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? That's what I'm talking about. He said, look, man, I love it. He said, but I can't do it because it's too much.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought me down a notch. He said, you know, I'm alive.
Yeah. Yep. I think that Cabo was saying on we're calling dealing with kin people.
Yeah, bro.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. You know what? Nowadays, what I do is, like when somebody say they want to know about the patient, I normally do is I give them I give them a hard task just so they can get away from me. Just, you know, because that's like the breaker point.
Yeah.
I had a sister not long ago, and she was saying, hey, I see things that. And I said, okay, let me tell you, this is what I want you to do. I said, anything else, what I want you to do is, I want you to fast for the next 7 days. All right? I said, I want you to do like a water fast, just cold turkey water. Not water fast, you tell me how you feel. Okay? And this is ready or not. How about I never heard I knew I was from it.
Yeah.
See, you're preparing yourself mentally.
Mm-hmm.
That's my point.
Yeah. Telling my brother that too today. That the info, you know, the info is not helping you if the mind's not there.
Yeah. That's without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Could you speak on this? There was a question about Acts, divine constitution, and the word sitting in there. Are you taking into consideration everything that Noble Drew Ali brought, everything that he said? Will you yourself Moorish national or a citizen or Moorish citizen of United States or whatever? And then why? Whichever one you pick.
Can I read Acts 6 first?
Yeah, sure.
And then we could just try to go.
Right.
Because I think, see, this is where it gets real. Even at that point in time, I think some of the things Drew Ali would mention in his literature should have been seen. Who knows? Because check this out. Even as more, we still use connotative language, depending on how we want to, you know, put a message out there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So who that is, and then we'll just kind of like,
yeah.
it says, with us all members must proclaim their nationality and our people their nationality and their divine, that they may know that they are a part of this big government, that they are Negro, Black people, or that lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. Again, let me stop right there. You don't mind?
No, go ahead, Mark.
Okay. The reason I say what I say, because in my opinion right here, he's speaking connotative language so people quite get it when he says slavery, because of course, once we go into you feel me?
Right. Yeah.
But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name again. He said the word name. Right?
Right.
We know what name means.
Right, and then going back to what you were saying earlier with the chapter on the Christianity and giving back all that stuff.
Yes, sir. That's my point.
Right.
All right. It says, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live. Again, government. Now, he said by the government in which they live in the nations on the earth. Now, I know that we are the government.
Right.
Right? But some may say, no, they are the government, which is the state or the city government, whatever they, you know. The three,
right. The jurisdiction that,
the three parts of that. So, in which they live in nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained to Ali, the prophet, to redeem this people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwest and southwestern shores of Africa. So again, I think certain language for certain people to understand.
Well, it's also strangely mixed.
Yeah. Yes. Most definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. Most definitely. I mean, because honestly, you got to do that to a certain point.
Yeah.
That's just like you got these brothers. You know who those brothers are? The brothers that conveniently say, well, the prophet said this. But they don't really do exactly what the prophet say do.
Right. Yeah.
You know, they conveniently skip all over the part where he always mentioned the Constitution.
Yeah. They definitely skip over that.
Yeah, they skip over that because that's where it gets real. See, it's easy. It's easy to just sit there and say, yeah, the prophet. It reminds me a lot of how, now let me go back to when I used to be in church when I was a child. I get the pastor and how he spoke words and how people, they clap their hands, amen, yeah. And he wasn't saying shit. You see what's going on? So that's easy to just speak something and not put the action behind it. Once you start speaking about the constitutional code of government in which he said we need to enforce, it gets real then.
Yeah.
It gets real then.
Now, elaborate on it being real when you start bringing up the Constitution. Like what? Because even in Drew Ali's literature, we see that it's a familiar word. You know, especially like you were saying earlier, divine warning to the nations.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, when you say it's real, when dealing with the Constitution. Where, you know, elaborate on that a little bit.
All right, now, in order for me to elaborate on that, I'm gonna have to read Article 6 of the American Constitution.
Right.
Because this is where it gets real. All right, all of the people that these people are afraid of, they take oath to the very Constitution that Noble Ali said that we should enforce. All right, so I'm gonna go to Article 6, and it says all of this country entered into before the adoption of this Constitution is violated against the United States under this Constitution as under the Confederation. This Constitution and the laws of the United States in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made which shall be made on the of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land. And the judges and states shall be bound thereby anything in the Constitution or laws of any state. To the contrary, notwithstanding. Now, let me read just a little more. It says the senators and representatives before mentioned and the members of the several state legislatures and all executive and judicial officers, both of the United States and of the several states, shall be bound by oath or affirmation to support this Constitution. Now, see, this is where you separate the boys from the meaning.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm a man. Those clowns over there that say we shouldn't be doing this, they're boys. They're boys because this is the supreme law of the land. This is what they prove. Again, like all is only as good as is his word. That goes back to trust, right? If you give me your word, I must take your word and I must trust you until you show me otherwise. So what we do is we hold them to this. And this is what we're supposed to enforce. Noble Ali was a genius. He was a genius. They don't want to talk about this shit. They don't want to talk about this. This is very uncomfortable for people. When you speak about the Constitution, you know what? They say Constitution doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Why they supposed to? Why can't they? If it doesn't matter, God, people that are bound by it, they can't even get in office until they take an oath to this.
Right.
Why is that? See, they take oaths to this. You got to enforce the American Constitution, but you need a person when doing so, and you need to be studied up as well. So don't just enforce the Constitution. See, I'm gonna tell you another thing I know. You know, of course we at war, but it's a lot of Moors out here that really don't understand this.
Well,
they really don't.
Well, why do you think that is? Like, other than lack of study, like, are they distracted? Is it too much information out there? Like, what?
I think, again, it goes back to chapter 36. The such a seven Quran, knowing thyself. You know, you must. It's too much. There's a lot of confusion out here, but they don't know thyself. In order to proceed on it, you have to know thyself. See with this.
And I mean, saying it like that, you could also see how know thyself would be the divine part of the movement.
Yeah.
You know, going within and figuring this thing out.
Bro, let me explain something to you, bro. People just don't know, man. They just don't know the hell I remember Todd said something that motivated me. Todd said this. He said the reason I did is so my baby, hell I went through. And that's noble on his part. You know, the reason I say that is because I went through hell as well, because I knew in my heart, because now by this time I know thyself. So nothing could stop me. I'm like, I know this is real. I don't care how many times they try to shut me down. I don't care how many times they have bounty hunters. It don't matter. I know it's real. And I found out it was real. It doesn't change. It's real. See, what they do is this, bro. They know who is divine. They know who the nobles are. They know who are serious. All right? It's things they do to test you on your nobility. It's certain things they test you to see if you're serious or your spirit is moving.
Yeah.
Once you fail that test, it got you. It's sort of like when Mike Tyson, when they do the standoff, he said the minute they got you feel me?
Yeah.
He said that, and that's real.
Yeah.
He said they can stand there all day and not blink or swallow, these grow old, got them. That's the same way with this. When more going in their court and standing before, they know who is about this.
Yeah. Now what? What would they have to know as far as the judges, the lawyers, the whoever's, know or not? Because it sounds like you're talking, sorcery or something like that.
Yeah, that too, but mainly what it is they're testing you on. You know how some of those guys say, he got heart. They're testing you on heart. They're testing you on spirituality. Like, how deep does your spirituality go? Like, oh, you say you live for okay, we're about to test you. They test you in so many ways, bro. They test you not only on heart, they test you to see how long can you last in those positions with the food. It's several ways. Like when they put you in those concentration camps, they have what they Muslim trays or things of that nature. They test you even on that. It just all depends on you and how you respond to what they do.
Yeah.
I just, me myself, I just never folded up. They tested me on all angles. Trying to, starve you to a certain degree. They tested me on heart, lock me up, take me out, lock me up, and they'll just let me out in the middle of the night, like on the street. Come get me like 2 weeks later. Like, they did a lot of mind games. So they know who is not made for this. It's sort of like a big brother, that kind of brother, he getting stronger now. Okay, let me get a little stronger. Put him in this move. Okay, oh yeah, he ready. You feel me? So it's kind of like that.
When you say how's your time looking?
Oh, I'm good right now.
Oh,
I'll
right.
let you know. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good right
now. You were saying about tested. What have been some experiences with other like nationals when you engage them, as far as
man.
Like what?
You know what? That's funny. I got to give you a story from about 3.5 years. I had a issue. I got a laptop, and at that time, I was kind of green when it comes to getting viruses and that stuff like that. So I got what you call with the ransom, what is called a ransom ware, like a ransom with malware, something like that.
Okay.
Now, what happens is, like, when you're on your laptop, if you go to a certain site, I don't know, if you go to a certain site, you'll have like a screen that come up and say, it'll lock your screen and be like, hey, you must call this number right now.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that you could just take the battery out and, you know, for 2 or 3 minutes and it'll be gone. But check this out. Again, like I said, how things work. So I called the number. I didn't have to pay anybody. I called the number, and I actually got this on record. I'm gonna post it. I actually, when I called the number, I was hooked up with this guy in quote unquote India, right? And he was a tech. And while he was trying to find the issue on my laptop, we was talking. We talked for a minute. We talked for a while. And I mentioned to him about Hindustan. He was like, how did you know about that? And I was like, I studied. And he was like, oh, okay. So he was telling me that he was a national of Hindustan, and I was telling him that to the Americas, right? And we spoke about it, and he didn't know that, well, according to him, and I have no reason not to believe you, but he didn't know that we were going through the issues that we were going through over here as Moors. And he didn't know that this was Morocco. He was like, tell me more. So we're building. And he was telling me a lot of stuff that was going on in Hindustan, the things that we don't know about as far as like different wars that may be going on presently.
Right.
Man, we built for like 45 minutes. You know, and it was cool. Of course, he knew of the Moors, but he just didn't know about the geographical way of living of Moors as in the present America. That's my point.
Right.
We had a good deal. We had a real good deal. Very good deal. And it would go back to show you what I was talking about, how things happen. What's the odds of me and this guy speaking from Hindustan, and he's telling me about things in Hindustan, I'm telling him things about in the Americas, and vice versa. So I've always had good conversations with, especially like the Moors that's from the northern Africa. It's a lot of those Moors. I speak to them, you know, and they tell me that people think they are crazy. Islam. People. So I've always had a good conversation. It's the black for quote white people, you know, the modern European. You know, and like those other more that don't want to follow this side of things.
I don't know if you saw the bar video. Well, there's a scene in there right in the beginning of the video where he is surrounded by children wearing fezzes. Right? So I wanted to ask you, what do you think about because he's apparently Hebrew Israelite. So what do you think about a Hebrew Israelite using that type of imagery? Like what message are you getting as a Moor?
I mean, it's his. You know what I'm saying? It's his at the end of the day. But you know what? Some people may not understand that Kendrick Lamar, he's going through his study phase, just like anybody else. You know, he may know, okay, I'm this, but then I may be this, so I'm gonna let them both shine.
No, right. No, because I was gonna ask you. So how many people do you think that have you know, something Moorish, right, are in that place, like moving towards getting there, or you know, is it just some type of pop it up just to put something?
I think that's the way a lot of these celebrities, man, communicate with quote unquote the normal people.
Yeah.
You know, I think they kind of like send signs out to say, you know, hey, we know what's up. We just can't really just say it, but we're gonna show you this sign or symbol to let you know we do know what's up. Because you know when you get to that level of stardom, you know, at a certain point in time, man, it's like you feel guilty about certain things. You understand where I'm going with it?
Right. Yeah.
They know what's going on. You know, that's why they have to do that. You know, like the Beyonce videos. I mean, all of the videos, you know, where they may show up feds or something that relates to. Man, these people are guilty, man.
Yeah.
They gotta show that stuff, man. It's guilt.
Like they're pretty much like obligated right now. Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah. That's what I said. Yeah, you're obligated. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me anymore, especially like when Kevin Gates, you know, it was kind of like okay, I know what's up, but at the same time, it's like a spit in the face too.
Right.
You really look at it, you know, because first off, you got a guy. Now we supposed to be dealing with the higher self, you know, or at least trying to get to that point, not dealing with the lower self. So how is it that you have a strictly dwells on it, wearing a fez, supposedly at Morocco, right?
Yeah.
So now you get these thugs, see this. So, because I know that's the thing now, you got a lot of thugs that's dealing with Islam. You know,
or trying to use it as a front to not get checked or whatever.
That's my point. Trust me. I get on YouTube. I kind of look around sometimes and see what's going on, and this is what I'm seeing right now. I see a lot of the younger rappers, they dealing with Islam. So that's sending a screwed up message.
Yeah.
It's a screwed up message. So again, like, who's responsible for this? Like, who set them up to do this? Is it their idea or is it like a higher up?
Right. Back to the email with the questions. My good brother Yassine had a little testimonial, and if you have any historical information or reference points that you might be able to give to back this testimonial here. So yesterday we were building about he was sending me books that I don't know if he just recently got them or if he was at the bookstore or whatever, but he was sending me all these book titles or whatever, you know, like, what do you think about this book? What do you think about this book? I'm like, well, you know, yes, you know, some of them I was like, yeah, you know, I mean, get that one. And other ones I was like, well, I don't know, you know, that might be a black book. You might not be able to get too much out of that. You know what I mean? Because it's not going to tell you or whatever. So he had sent me this. It's hard to read a lot of these books when one knows we as a people are Moors. And then keep in mind, this is he's on that side, but he knows that we're Moors.
Okay, good.
For all the Muslim people who want to say they're so Moors or whatever, right? It's hard to read these books when, as one who knows we as a people are Moors, all the intelligence these writers have but use black and refuse to use Moor. I even asked one of my brothers from Mali, do you call yourselves Moors over there? He said, hell yes. He doesn't understand what these people over here teach because they don't teach black over there. Now, is this Do you think this is a bias because the brother from Mali is Brother Yassin's friend?
Well,
or you know, is what he's saying like you know, the fact that he's saying the brother saying, okay, one, that he's from Mali and they call themselves Moors over there, right? And that the concept of people who look like us being black is not taught over there.
That's a good thing.
It's a very good thing.
That's a good thing. Ain't nothing bad about that. That's a good thing.
Because, you know, the black guys will be mad. Like, what do you mean they don't teach black over there or whatever? Like, what? Yeah, just what would you think would be, you know, like, because, you know, they'll also say that, well, he's his friend, so he's going to say that to sound good or whatever. But
yeah,
is there any truth to that, you think?
Yeah. Well, you know, they stand on the principles of nationality on the other side. Most of them anyway.
Yeah.
You know, it's over here where we have the issue of standing on principles of nationality. Now, and let me say this. Let me kind of go back. When I started studying, because it was confusing, but I knew in my heart I was a Moor. You know, just like Brother Khalid, I knew I was a Moor, but I studied nothing but Moorish information. I didn't want to get confused. Like, I didn't really study the black books. I kind of went back and studied the black books, you know, to kind of like, okay, I see what this means now. Oh, this means that. You know, I studied like straight. When I got the Moorish information, I was strictly dealing with RV Bay, and I strictly dealt with stuff that was close related to that information. So I didn't deal with a lot of the black information because I didn't want to get confused. It's so confusing. Like, if you're trying to come into Moorish nationality and birthright, you're at the beginning of your long journey and you're studying the black books, in my opinion, it's going to be very hard and very confusing because, again, it's so much you have to know regarding, okay, what did they call us then? We may have been called Saracens at one point. We may have been called Ethiopians at one point, right? So eventually, of course, you gotta like find the two. Well, I already knew we were Moors, so I just took it and I kind of went back and looked at things and compared. You know, that's how I helped myself. I didn't want to be confused at all because I've been confused all of my life.
For real.
You feel me? Like, yeah. I felt like I didn't need any of the black books anymore. I needed straight Moorish books.
Right. Enough black books.
Enough black books. I didn't want the black book. I wanted the straight Moorish books. And still to this day, I do it like that. But I do have, you know, different books by quote unquote black authors. I do have them because I can still see where they're trying to do their due diligence. I can see that.
Right.
You know, I mean, I ain't just silly with it, but I see this.
No, there was a set of questions from our friends over there that I wanted to address to you because by their video I realized that you have Allodial nationality as your identification. So for people who are on the outside looking in and think that this is some type of mockery, well, you know, from your perspective, what is the student card? What is a nationality card? What is a right to travel card?
Man, you just said it. It's really that simple. See, that issue with these people, they're incompetent. Like, it's that simple. ID card Basically, that you're a student of said whatever it is on that student ID card. It's that simple. The nationality card, same thing. It identifies you as a national, and that information aligned with that national. The right to travel card, it basically shows you that you have the right to travel. It has the stare decisis that's provided on it.
You said stare decisis. What's that?
Stare decisis. Stare decisis. Matter of fact, let's go in a law book and we'll know.
Oh yes.
Stare decisis. All right. Of course, you know it's a Latin term. You know how you see. You'll look into a court case, and you'll see like it may say New York versus Thompson 134470. Yeah. Those law cases, those court cases, that's considered to be stare decisis. And what it means to abide by or adhere to decided case. So that's why when you have a right to travel card, you see stare decisis on the right to travel card because, again, they're supposed to stand the supreme law, which is aligned with the stare decisis is aligned with the supreme law, the Constitution, as well as res judicata. You go into res judicata, it's a matter of judge, a thing judicially acted upon or decided, a thing or matter settled by judge. Now, people will say things like, well, that was an old case. That don't apply. That's why I'm reading res judicata. This is why I'm reading stare decisis, because it does apply. And again, brother, our people as a whole, they're incompetent. The simple things they don't understand.
Yeah.
Again, I just use the word understand. But you know what I mean.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So they're incompetent. It's not their time. Look, I figured something out years ago. It wasn't my time to get this information at a certain point of my life. Because I was out here wilding.
Yeah.
And I didn't want it at a certain point. Now I'm more laid back. I'm settled. I can see clearly. I'm not in the quote unquote ghetto anymore. I don't have all these women blinding me anymore. I don't have all these fake people around me. None of that. So I'm able to focus. So again, go back to chapter 36. Man must know thyself. You got to study yourself. You got to discipline yourself before you get this. You don't just get this. You don't just get this, see?
Yeah. There's definitely a process you have to go through.
It's a process. Yeah. The only reason I caught on so fast because they were offering me so much time, and I refused to give that quote unquote Jew any more finance, and I fired his ass. That's the only. And you know what? If they want to know if it's real or not, or they think it's just some type of mockery, ask the brothers that's doing 10 years that's trying to get up out of it. Ask them. Ask the people that's in prison. Ask them. Don't ask someone that's outside of prison. Ask the brother that's fighting tooth and nail trying to get out of there using this and learning at the same time.
From in there.
Say that again, brother?
Like fighting from in there.
Yes. So you got to remember, because most of the people that's in prison, that's incarcerated, they were screwed by the attorney.
Yeah.
So they don't have a choice but to fight now.
Yeah.
If we can get this in our people's head, man, look, understand the prophet literature, know thyself, and just know that this is something that you have this is what you're supposed to have. I'm not saying just go out here and enforce it. What I'm saying is it's a tool of self-defense. It's a tool of self-defense. So if you can use it, you can use it. It's nothing. Man, look, I walk around every day. I have a little life. I don't even have stuff anymore. Matter of fact, I hate using it unless I have to. Now, when they push me in the corner, I'm taking to my business. But other than that, man, I'd rather not.
Yeah.
It's like a cat. You put a cat in the corner. Cats are not even violent. You put a cat in the corner.
You see something violent like that.
You're going to survive the cat.
Sure.
That's my point. You know, so that's my answer to. If they think it's a mockery, okay, go to prison and figure out what you're gonna do after your attorney just screwed you with no grease.
Right.
What, you gonna go get another attorney to screw you some more? What are you gonna do? So you telling me, now check this out, Sheik. This is a question I have. Okay, for example, if I have auto mechanic skills, right, and I can repair my own quote unquote automobile, should there be a law against me repairing my own automobile?
And if there is a law against you repairing your own automobile, you know something's up.
Exactly. So they don't stop you from repairing your own automobile. They don't stop you from repairing your own house. They don't stop you from whooping your children. They don't stop you from doing any of these things. But the minute you say, hey, I want to present myself, it's an issue. It's an issue. So now if you got common sense, which most people don't have common sense, you would ask yourself, why can't I present myself? Because I know about the issue. I was the party of the issue. I know all about it. So why can't I? Why?
No. Let me ask this. Can someone, because you hear people talking about, you know, they don't need to proclaim their nationality because they can go to court as a pro se litigant and they'll still win their case or whatever. How important is having a status and going into those tribunals for stuff, opposed to, you know, being conscious and saying you're gonna go to court and fight something?
Man, status means everything. You know, matter of fact, let me go into status for those that don't know about status. Status means everything. Status, it says standing, state, or condition. Okay? It says the legal relation of individual to the rest of the community. It also says the rights, duties, capacities, and incapacities which determine a person to a given class. Now, when you think of blacks, Negroes, colors, and all of these other brands, they don't have the rights, duties, capacity, which determine a right to a given class because they have a status. It says a legal person, personal, in its nature, nor terminable as their will, which and the state also means signifies the condition or circumstance in which one stands with regard to his property. So, with that being said, let me read this real quick. It says with regards to your property. You know how you get pulled over on the side of a road by a highwayman, and if you don't have what they want, sometimes they like take your property.
Right.
And remember, they just take it. They don't compensate you. They just take it. You know, it's just rogue highwaymen. But in Amendment 4, it says the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause. And probable cause means a reason to believe a crime has been committed, supported by oath or affirmation and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Now check this out. If it has to be particular on describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized, that's where status comes. Okay? Are you living as your foremothers and forefathers? Are you living as one of those 5 titles? Or are you living as one of those European surnames? Are you living territory on this continent? Or are you living one of their corporate cities? See, this is where that knowledge comes in. You see where I'm going with it?
Yeah.
This is where it comes in. But if you don't study, you won't know this. You won't know this. So status is everything. Status is everything, man. You can. I keep telling people, man, stop playing yourself, going into their course in some type of pro-state, black man, all this crap, man. It's crap. This is deep. This is Morocco, okay? Whether they know this or not, this is deep.
Now, was asking about somebody proving that this works.
Oh man. What's proof, Sheik?
I guess that some things dismiss. The European recognizes that you're a Moor and dismissed it, or read your paper and sent you a letter. We don't want to deal with you anymore, or something. I don't know.
Okay, I can answer that.
But yeah, you know.
Okay.
We'll make the proof as we go. Like what you got as proof. Let's do it like that. You know what I mean? What you got as proof.
Yeah. Because a lot of people say that. They say, "Where's the proof?" Upon analyzing what is proof, some think that the proof is European colonists saying that, hey, that we locked you up and gave you these charges, you are more, so everything's dismissed. It'll never happen that way. It'll never happen that way, okay? Now, how I recognize things to happen is just like this. First off, you got to be thorough, and you got to, with your responses and how they respond. Because trust me, brother, they will delete and get rid of things like at the snap of a finger. Trust me. So if you're not thorough, that's the only reason why I've been able to prove all of the charges that were beaten by myself, because I never threw anything away. Now, I remember this one time they kidnapped me for like a day. And they wanted me to come to their court. And of course, I never go to their court. I'm not telling anybody not to go, but I just go. All right. And supposedly I was supposed to be there at a certain time, whatever. And at that time, a co-worker of mine at that time, he was like, "What day are you supposed to go to court?" I said, "Well, I'm not going," but I told him the day. So he said, "All right, cool." He was looking on the website. How about they erased it all? They erased it all. And that's why I put up the post on the 4 charges dismissed without an attorney. I got that on my channel. That stems from that incident where they erased everything off of the city website. Because immediately what I did, I went straight after them. See, I don't go to courts anymore. I just go straight after them financially and criminally. I don't even go through that process of going through federal court. I don't even go through the process of going through the Supreme Court anymore. I shoot them financially and criminally.
That's that. Like, just go.
I don't even waste time with going through the court because they all fraud.
Yeah. Now, when you say so, just when you say go after them financially, you're talking about suits against them or bonds, or like what? When you say go after them financially,
when I say go after them financially,
in brief,
yeah. When I go after them financially, yeah, I mean, I go after surety bonds. I go after surety bonds. I haven't really had to put like a tight lien on them yet, but the surety bond is a form of a lien anyway, but I normally go after their bonds and I report them criminally, to the international community. And I just CC it to everybody that's within their corporate standstill. That's what I do now. But again, when you go after them on that, you really gotta know what you're doing, because if you go after them financially, you better believe they're coming after you financially.
For real.
Yeah, like for real. And the reason I know this is because they'll throw all types of scare tactics at you. Now let me explain this. When I went after several public official bonds a few years ago, and they were trying to put a $50 lien on me against so-called child support. But again, I don't have any issues with that. So it was a scare tactic. So if you fall for the scare tactic, you're through. That's why I said they know who's real with this and who's not real with this. That's why I said on my video, RV Bay Hater Part 1, in which it was talking about all of these men. I ripped them all by myself on that video. What I said to them, I said, hey, y'all giving up ass? Because that's what they giving up. They giving up ass. So are you going to give up ass? Not going to give up. See, that's what they do. That's why I said Harker Bay, Sharif, Lord Apple, who else we got? All of them dudes, they give up ass.
Right.
So it's a difference. That's my point. Like, if you don't give it up, they know.
No. Even speaking about that, like, do you think it's coercion why people follow these type of people, these non-vibratory people? Like, how do people get caught in being lackeys for these people? Like a more was telling me about, oh no, it was Brother Settenra was talking about a brother was a quote unquote sheik in training, the Dirty Moors. Like, that's how they said, that's what they identified him as, not brother or whatever, or he's a sheik in training.
Man, see, we constantly go through things, man. People not really understanding the movement in which Prophet knows we prompt to. These people not study. If you really want to know, you study his literature, and you do just that. You live by the literature, but also you can expand your horizon with information. They ain't doing this, brother. I got a sister. Check this out. I got a sister. I'm gonna have to do a video with her. I told her we're gonna do the video with her. She's new to the Moorish information, but she's the mother of the children that I've been teaching, that I put up on my channel.
Oh, all right, yeah.
She's a real good sister. I've been knowing her for a while, but she was telling me, she was like, I ran into some Moors that got a temple. And I was like, what? Okay. She was like, I think I'm gonna go check it out. I said, go ahead. I want you to. I said, go ahead and check it out. I said, and I'm gonna let you tell me what it was like, And she was like, okay. She was like, I said, I would go alone first, so you can fill it out. I said, don't take your children just yet because I don't want them, you know, I just had a vibe that it wasn't going to go right. And I was right. You know, there's very few temples that's doing it right out here. You're doing it right. We know this. But the majority aren't doing it right. So she went in there and she got her and they asked her what her name. She told her appellation and got angry.
They got angry?
They asked her name. She told her appellation and they got angry. How are you, you know?
How are you, L?
Yeah. And they were teaching about her.
What?
Bro, I'm getting her. We're going to do a video about it.
Wow.
Right? So she can tell you.
Martin Luther King in the Moorish Science Temple.
Hey, I'm telling you what she told me.
That is crazy.
All right, I'm telling you what she told me. And, you know, she tried to deter her. I wanted her to, she told me immediately that once she met these people, they told her right off top, they was like, you know, we ain't the Moors that don't pay taxes and stuff like that. See, again, that's
yeah. Because if she didn't have you as a backup, and she's going in there free mind from birthrights after hearing that.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Sir. Yeah, but she check it out, and she was very disappointed because come on this side and you get certain info, and then you go on a side that's not dropping certain info. It's like you're backtracking.
Right. Yeah.
You see, so what's the sense of me backtracking?
No doubt. Yeah. Mother ain't backtracking nothing.
Yeah.
Full steam ahead. Once they get this info. They're not even playing with it.
So, like I said, she was in there before I go, and she said she said the people were genuinely good. She got a certain vibe that was unwelcoming to a certain degree. And I knew, of course, I didn't.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't waste my, they probably, you know, I didn't even worry about it. I'm serious. They probably would have come out with me on it.
For real. You know how they do, yo.
I didn't deal with it, man. I'm just glad that we got more like yourself that's doing due diligence and keeping the temples in the fashion it's supposed to be. So, you know, Islam to you, bro.
Islam. But I think that, you know, once you have the foundation, you know where it is that you're supposed to. It's not even a question of where to stand. You know stand. You know, just based on the foundation. Yeah.
Yeah, foundation, that's important, that base, that's important because that's what, again, that goes back to what I said earlier, the lower higher self. The confusion lies in with a person not knowing themselves. And if they're still with that lower self, you know, greed, sex, money, for ego, they're going to dwell towards people like those guys, dwell towards the UCC guys, the European sovereign school. That's what they're dealing with the Lord self. That's those guys. Right. See, when you're dealing with discipline, you know, then you'll be over in this end. We discipline over here. Man, you put out 100 videos every day, and you keep them going across the whole Every discipline.
Straight up.
This is our life. We live this life.
What are some of the Moors that you study from, and or some books that you could, for people looking to, broaden their.
I'm gonna tell you something, bro. That's a good question, though. A lot of people don't know this because I don't talk about it a lot, and he realizes. But when I first got the information that Prophet Noble Drew Ali had out for us, right? I was in Virginia territory at that time and North Carolina territory, right? I got a lot of one-on-one information from the Dr. Ali during that time.
Yeah.
I called his brother, and he was like, his wife went on the phone, and she's like, hold on, let's get the phone. And talk to me and tell me things. He would talk to me. So they was like boost during my time of when I was getting it at the beginning, because and asking questions, just tell me straight up, like, yeah, do this. Do it for you. And I was like, I appreciate that, bro. So he was like one of the, he was during my and there was another brother, I believe in the, it was another brother. He went by Tariq. I think his appellation was Tariq at that time, but he helped me out a lot as well. It was a lot of brothers that was helping me out to a certain degree, but I had to put in work, and I had to find out through trial and error, a lot of things. But I had a lot of people at that time, circle, but I just had to point out, okay, what's real and what's not real. What works, what does not work. But again, Aline, that was the blood right there at that time, most definitely. Considering this information.
Yeah.
And hold up, I just thought about something else. I cannot go without mentioning Mother Anna Ida L.
Islam.
She gets, you know what? Matter of fact, let me put her number one and Aline is number two. And the reason I got to put her number one, number two is because I spoke with her a lot, and she helped me a lot at the very beginning, and she still, to this day, will if I need something.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, she was like, "Yeah, here, this is what you." I mean, like she always had that energy. Like, yeah, this is what you do. Do this, study that. So, Mother Anna E, yes, most definitely. And yourself, of course, Ms. Roz Mariah, Mother Roz Mariah. I mean, There's a lot of people, man. Everybody I deal with now, that's who I was dealing with. Brother Abdullah, man, him and I, we used to be on the phone for hours. So, a bulk of my, the way I, deliver, a bulk of it comes from him.
Yeah.
Brother Abdullah, I respect Brother Abdullah, how he delivers information, man. His information is needed, but I don't think most people can get it because it's boring.
Yeah.
It's boring, but it's needed.
Right. It has its purpose.
Yeah, it's needed. So yeah, I would say that's like the main people within this movement that I deal with, like yourself, me, the people I deal with now. Same people, man.
Yeah.
Taj, same people.
I know you have some books you could put out your favorites and some stuff that's in them to entice people to support your literary work.
Oh, okay, yeah. Appreciate that. Now, before you enforce again people, before you enforce anything, this is a learning tool. Anything I put out, my website, publishinfo.net, is mainly for remedy, but it's for more that are ready and that know thyself. Okay, again, it's for more that know thyself and that's actually ready, because my material is for remedy. Like I said, what good is knowledge if you can't apply it? And I know where I've gotten in my life with enforcing the American Constitution. So I do have a book that's entitled Public Official Bonds. A lot of people, man, they love that book. It's deep. Don't enforce it right away. Study. And I also have a book called What is Child Support, because there's so many brothers that deal with the child support issue. That's another situation that is. I got the videos, but that's the thing. Those brothers on the other side, they don't want to speak about that. They don't speak about that. You know, they say, where's the proof? Okay, the proof is, shit, go to my channel, you'll see. You know? So What is Child Support book? I have DVDs. I'll be dropping my documentary soon, and that's really going in a lot of my private life to a certain degree, not all the way, but my documentary will be dropping soon on YouTube. And I have a new DVD, which is entitled, well, actually I have two that's about to drop when I drop the documentary in the next few weeks. It's called Understanding State Government and Understanding Mortgage Fraud. So I'm breaking down the state government so you can know who to, you know, interact with when you deal with the state. And I'm breaking down the mortgage fraud. Because so many people think, oh, I'm about to buy me a house, and it's my house, yay. But hey, I'm debunking that, and I'm showing you a better way of dealing with things to save your fiat, so on. Yes, sir.
I heard certain people, you know, making the claims that, like, this idea of you, let's say, writing a book, putting a book out, should equal to something more, because, you know, if they take, let's say, for example, some Facebook group, and they take 6,000 members times how much ever stuff you got on your website, you should probably have a bill or something, and you shouldn't just be, you know, online, doing it online, you know, no bill stuff and all that. It's more feasible to sort of be in the internet world only, or the matrix only, or you have to be in both to really make an impact?
Well, I'm going to say it like this because I know from experience. In order to have an internet presence, you have to have an offline presence. You have to have to do that. In order to have an online presence, you have to have an offline presence. Meaning, it's sort of like when we used to be on, you know, when we sell our CDs out the trunk, or our tapes back in the day out the trunk. You gotta sell them out the trunk to get that fiat before you're recognized, and the word of mouth will spread to bliss, right? So I would say, see, now Cujo, brother Cujo, you can contest to this, right? You remember when I first sent you one of my DVDs?
Yeah.
About how long ago was that? Just a guess.
2 years, 4 years?
Exactly. It's been about 4 years. 4 years ago, I wasn't on YouTube. You see what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
I wasn't on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I was still getting the information out in the offline world, in the physical plane. So, yeah, I mean, you have to do it that way. it's plenty of people in my territory that got the people in my territory. They, you know what's funny? I don't get any sales. I think to this day I've gotten one sale online from my territory. Because the people in my territory, they've gotten it from me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Everything else is out of the way. I can't afford to, you know, travel to New York to give somebody a DVD.
Right.
Or a book. And you know the maintenance that comes to putting together. You've written books. You know the maintenance that comes into putting together a book, the thought, you know, the fiat behind pressing.
Right.
I mean, it's not like it's free. The time, you know, you got time, you got effort. Let's be real. So I mean, hey, online and offline.
Yeah. That's real.
That's without a doubt, man. I mean, whatever those guys talking about is just talk.
Yeah. Now, as far as 10 minutes or something like that left, when we look at Moors moving forward, because you know, obviously, we're the ones with our eyes wide open. You know, so being that our eyes are wide open, what are some things that you think more should be doing more of, you know, moving forward, especially you know, with New Year approaching and the change of the energy and all that?
I think we need to keep it simple by respect, man. You know, respect yourself at all times, because if you respect, likely others will respect you. And most of the time, people don't want this information because it's coming from an idiot.
Yeah.
You understand?
Right.
What I present, like everybody, family, they don't live by that to me. They want to know something. Or at least they act like it anyway. Because they know that I'm serious. I respect myself with it. You know, so I say respect yourself, you know, in order for someone to respect you dealing with Moorish information too.
Yeah.
In order for them to take you seriously, they will not take you serious if, look, now I'm going to be honest with you, brother. I'm going to be honest with you. Now, it really doesn't matter, but at the end of the day, it does matter to a certain degree. But I'm going to tell you, when they don't take you serious, when you're pushing, don't live by it, number one. If any kind of way you look like that, you cannot support yourself. Like, if you're not taking care of your responsibility, now, you know what you're supposed to do. They don't. The information it's just it expands, like it's just like a huge hole. Like, look at that. You know, down this way, look at me, because I only live it, but they can't find any chinks in my arm. They can't nothing there to pick at.
Right.
You know, it's nothing there to pick at. That's why I was telling them, see, you know, you got these brothers out here that, you know, that I say, what do you say about the field? Talking about the field. You see the field.
Yeah, that we selling national move for 30 notes.
Okay, but he hasn't put.
Oh no, he hasn't. No.
Of course he hasn't, because that's not what's going on.
Right.
That's a claim. So the thing is, they make these claims, but they're not proving anything. Just like You're not proving it.
Yeah. Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? That's real. And we just moved it. It's not like Todd say, man. It's just simple. I mean, you just live it. You know, it's just like everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
Just live it. Yeah, we just live it. And this is our life now. That's why it's not hard to go before a magistrate if I get pulled over to spit it, because I live it. Just being a nigga, right? But then the minute you get in trouble, now you're more. They know. They know.
Yeah.
I know. Hey, because I had so many brothers or sit them in drug charges. Well, they spoke about that.
For real. Now what? Now, you know, like when closing out, you brought up something about, you know, not wanting to assist people with certain things.
Oh man.
You know, like now, is there a line? Okay, fine. You know, let's assist. Dealings with people, active Moors with hella stuff that they're dealing with. You know what I mean? So
yeah, they do.
Yeah, so
they do
yeah,
every day.
so,
I get stuff.
Yeah, so in closing, because I'm getting that too, that in search of the info, that they're just going anywhere.
Yeah.
To get it, you know what I mean? That, you know, is there to that, having that issue of, you know?
Yeah, I have a limit, bro. I have a limit. You know what? I judge people by, you know, their actions, even when it comes to dealing with energy.
Mm.
You know, email or letter. Those words speak. You feel it. So I deal with their energy, and I mean, email me or write me. They have good energy. Like most of them anyway,
Yeah,
you know, especially the ones that need help, they really have good energy. But, you know, a few things about them say, why are they into the movement? You know, what they their mind state.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just having a charge, man. Like, it's so deep in there. You can't run to this. A lot of times, I'll just let your have the charge.
Mm.
You know, I mean, women out here, people know what they're doing, man.
Yeah.
But I have a limit, and my limit is this. If I feel in any sort of way, people, and you really not about this issue.
Mm. Yeah.
Heal several conversations that you redeemed yourself. I can assist you to a certain degree.
Mm. Mm.
Being real about it. And my time, it will. Hell, I got children. I got things on that. And I own people's energy and just make it my own. Man, many people out here have horrible lives.
True.
And I refer that to you. Okay? So I to who I want to deal with.
Right. Well, I want to say give thanks, yo, for the bill today.
Thank you, boy. It's long, boy.
For the Moors out there, You know we got Blog Talk Radio on deck at 9:30, 347 945 5899 945 5899. Make sure you get yourself called in early so that you don't miss out. And 569 425 560. You have any remarks? Any more? You want to plug your stuff again, just in case people might have missed it or whatever?
Oh yeah, no doubt, bro. I appreciate it. Like always, with you, man. I've learned a lot from you as well, of course. But yeah, with my closing remarks, I basically just want to say, man, look, if you want to understand this movement, well, these literature, stay there for a minute. You know, whatever you don't understand, research it, look it up.
Hold on one sec. Let me get this one quick. Please, more. Yo, live right now. If you just want to get last, and I'll call you back.
Okay, you want to go live?
No, I'm live right now.
Okay, yeah, I shout them out. You know, it's not to all the Moors out there. Just call it days with you actually, guys. You know, I told you about
Yeah. Just
we had a chance to sit down with Jerry the Damager today, and we had a nice little conversation. Look out for that. Our podcast is going to be launching soon. You know, because we got to sit down with Jerry and stuff. Yeah. So we talked on that project that we talked about, the Noble Drew Ali project that nobody talks about.
Yeah.
It's crazy. He actually Googled it right in front of us and showed it to us. It's real.
Yeah.
Can he hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you more.
No, can he hear me?
Yeah, he can hear you.
Islam, is that what's his?
Yeah, Brother Laundry. Yeah, Brother Laundry.
Yeah, Brother Laundry. Peace, Brother Laundry. Islam.
Yeah, more.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, we're here.
Right there.
Yeah. I'll link you up after, yo.
I'll give you the full rundown when you call me.
Yeah, no worries.
It's not, and you know, the station we got more work for you.
Islam.
Bro.
Yeah, bro.
No, that's good, man. Like I said, I'm just closing out. Just peace and love to the family, man. I appreciate all the support from y'all. And keep on lifting yourselves and keep tuning in to man.
Islam, Brother Mario. Peace to all the chat and everywhere else. We'll time this week. We'll see what's good. But we'll just do our little closeout music. And again, we're just taking you back to so-called Black History Month. We're gonna bring you some of that old school before Iron Chic hip hop. All the Moors, peace and love.
You see, as rap artists, we gotta paint this picture. Meditate to be one with the nature. Channel our energy like telekinetics. Mental telepathy. Yeah. Knowledge degrees. Apologies. Nuclear meltdown, double cold prophecy. Yo, host, man. Yo, ain't no one stopping me. Hedge mentality, the Red Sea. On the other end, spot the flags of the series of asking, is it you or me? Attack with full force, hate, speed, adrenaline and greed. Break up the existence. All cars, killers requested. The strap up, get vested. Killers requested. Strike the Vatican, where's the pill? Like rocks and imagine. Strike the one myself. Imagine the demons, them, I take myself. Imagine when fun, no shot. Imagine when black cars. Start the guns clapping, start them heads cracking, swinging. The wicked sirens sound like air raids.
Mars, blacks were the first and all the stars and moons. When them goons on back, believe the world. You see, stupidity is contagious. That's why they always just giving it your faces. Henchmen turn and starters to Benjamin. We the enemy at the gates, causing confusion and tension. Entrance of the structure, false concrete slabs, genetically around henchmen like Juve, Mon, and Swarman. Crowded with folks and canvas. Bandanas and rep scarves or reps for Armageddon. With like things raise arms and stuff. Got that rock spectrum. There's men tears with fucking tightrope to snap. Interceptions in the screens of night and thick darkness. The sparks feeling. Black apart.
Don't step, you feel me on trial for my charge. This is what back stay large, cadets odds are against us. This guards and this pranksters. The sunshine after the no pain forms. Brainstorm the next movement. Can give a fuck about you, who I am. This is serious. If you and this, then quit. It goes only have when the down can't clap the name on the blame on. It's safe. Saying is when the niggas come, you will barge through the old. That's what I breathe. Like body strapped up, but that's a C4. Henchman. It is like from ancient ago. Rastafari could have never stood low. Patience, the government soon done. Think me a minute that touch a ground, not that him alone where the ground never not get drowned. And the smoke against system melt down. See then good boy you love in all your why you forgive it. Henchmen and they come for reclaim shot. Things like the sun with money blood. Mind never blessings in my mind. With a yard, a black star to king soon. With the sling and the stone. Yeah. A minute. Those tribes we said spread the Gnostics. Son, to put it simply, has nice for the destruction of all Bible and old rules. Said why? That support inevitably bias or mercy for the black Holocaust. Reparations that caught people suffered under the willing fascist states in America and their friends of past and present. Which to the compass reparations. We're here to collect, not discuss size of the paycheck. As a hegemony strong with tempers roll with me. pushing me forward. We are here along with the poor and the oppressed worldwide, 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 worldwide.
Witnesses say he fired with a semi-automatic pistol. He started by walking line. Witnesses say he fired, reloaded, and fired again.
Even though he wasn't like cussing or saying mother this or that, you know, he just...
After several minutes of terror, there was...
I couldn't see
all we could
his
see was his body and the gun, and that's all.
because we weren't going to look out from under the tables. I mean, we were underneath the tables just trying to keep.
Henchmen, regret society. Kidnappers, citizens who despise me. Nice, nice and precise. Mentally invested with murderous thoughts. To hear gunshots miles away. Those who straight up paraphrase teachings. I wrote the whole mind to stop teaching. To the points where clans betray their own. But everybody sits home. We'll delete with this one. I bow against my feet. It got caught by the blast. Run from your surroundings. You'll never last. Like a scene that I'm wrong. I look to the block. And the only lead you got is that spotted blue shirt. So I gave a game. Hang inside the mind to keep me sane. Religion false belief. They fall like sickness, remedy. Remedies, she's a remedy. Remedies for never ending victory. War chants, so we remain. We feel pain when my breath touches the mic against me. We waste the sodium super toll injections of her in the chamber of the M16. Now I shout for skulls. Drop down with the thought just cause you want a few scrimmages. Go out with me, smoke with me. I dare you to come at that nigga, then do you, I'll do for free. Start revolutionary profit, join Jesus. Making havoc. I spit what I say with extreme prejudice. No remorse, could care less if you get burned or get bitten by force. No forces, but my ink runs red. When it gets too hot for y'all, I know y'all gonna be first in line. Almost sticking out their heads. Remedies, remedies the pain. Remedies, so we remain. Like us, say like what we do. We there, but who? What's the minimum wage? I say what's for eat? But then I'm not. Who will be small? It's been at Austin, but I can't be so. You try the price. You did the job you couldn't do without pay. Now that's not to be thrown over the ships. How come? If you're wrong for whips and chains and take it all to wisdom. A spiritual ancestor took care of the body and soul. We're very happy when you go and back. So what's what we have to this world that don't slow it down, hold it. Nah, you know we got it. Get by. I'm fucking drop falling from my mom's house. Stop me. Let it down. Fucking revolutions on my mind. In my ass, the more the revolutionists. Fuck all of them face through. If I would me. Remedy, she ease the pain. Remedy, so we for the something predicament. More power to the nigga, he'll squander it. It's time to relinquish it. You have three options. Join forces or we cool shit up. Never break for your shit. My conscripts don't give a fuck about your posses, pussy fools, and so-called your twats. Up from where at. I grew up on the wrong side of the track. Skate without trap on rapid scabs. I'm silly toxic like me. Boys get racked. Back rap for 20 seconds. Hit white guys trying to act like a 6-pack of dynamite. Poised to strike the divisions of precincts tonight. I just rested. Remedies for your sickness. Remedies for never end the victory. War chant. On Fridays, nigga, all in high day. Deal drumming up on the highway. Car flipped over, burning in a ditch. For my state switch, I stab you like a snitch. I spray suckers that owe me sharp change. Divided to the sun, like home on the range. Things sound strange, this world is messed up. Nigga, throw your gang signs and still get stuck up. I could care less if you rock a uniform. If you don't watch your step, you get blown like a storm. This message is for them coppers that held me on the bus. Y'all are walking dead, man. So if I see you on the street or walking the beat, I fill your lungs up with lead if I'm walking my heat. I make it feel sweet, walk off kissing my teeth. Another satisfied customer just caught defeat. Charlie, against devils that tried to harm me. I'm such a threat they even had to call the army. But I declared wars for many years before. They plotted assassination for what my mind stores. Fuck all the lies, the truth sets me free. When they bury their lies in a library. When my tongue spits and makes third eye see. Ban some tracks, but we got words by the plenty. Squeeze till we empty. Devils wanna tempt me. Ho Chi Minh Illuminati hunter of the century. I got them sick thoughts to make them die. Transmission, pussy, your life is soon ending. Cause I keep sending thoughts to kill your best friend. Got the best aim, the shot is for your soul top. Expose your brains to the world, just like the last cop. When I get live, my rhymes won't stop. Niggas grab for you got to let me hear gunshots. I make this place hot, like a judgment Bonaparte. Rolling with hunting men to hide rifles behind mobs. Cleaning this war zone with my golden microphone that I received as a gift from a wise man from back home. So as I channel thoughts and paint pictures in your dome, I'm so far out that your cell phone says roll. Liners in the empire that burnt down by fire. Just grab to the patterns that travel through my mic wires. When I freestyle, sometimes they call me sire. As if I didn't take the words from the mouth higher than ISIS, sitting on a cheap cornerstone, climbing the tree of life, entering my chromosomes. I got some sick thoughts. Son, you ready? You ready to kill? Then get ready. Cause I'm a blast till his corpse turns to confetti. Just enough blood because I hold my gas steady. Anyone shoot back, then let's make a melody. So much death that popos not want get me. They wanna wait till they build my own penitentiary. Roll call for all of them cats that stuck with me. Let's go back to the days of Goretti. I got my man Cap Snap there that lives lousy. Fat shout out to Trilogy, W.I.Z. Short legs and Killer Man walk right beside Iron. And GNS, my blood brothers too, Rami. Snake Eyes, Jules, and Getaway Charlie. Yo, fuck this shit. I etch your names out of ivory. I don't got enough ink to write down my whole family. No way I eat if these cats that go hungry. Gotta roll tight, hold mics and earn stripes. Chop whites, jack cars, hold ups on dirt bikes. Killers like us use gas as torchlight. The last man standing after gunfight. I open my mouth and everything sounds tight. Won't get off until I think the time's right, and it's now. Sunday.
Me and me. That's how we do it.
Think about that. Think about it.
Yeah. You know.
Think about that. Think about it.
Iron Sheik. Moorish MC.
Think about that. Think about it.
Shimnatar Bay. Moorish Master.
Think about that.
MC.
Think about it.
Hey, yo, think about this. Now think about that. Think about your first words and don't talk back. Think about your status, don't call yourself black. Think about how corporations jack you with tax, like menace to society or any gangster flick. Before you say you're a slave descendant, think about the ship. Think about the trip across the Atlantic. Think about the mutiny. Think about the panic. Would slaves be frantic, heading back to shore in a ship? Is really yours, prisoners of war, subjugated Moors, crossed out with Hannibal and the Battle of Tours, Spanish Inquisition that didn't convert the Moors. Think about the laws and the first passports were given to the Moors during Barbary Wars, fleeing from the pirates like they're swimming from jaws, take over their vessels and make their wives whores. That's why they hate our sisters and us to their core. I can't wrong them, you better think about that. Pirates coming and they're thinking y'all sailing off the map. Do they face us head on and plan an attack, or call it a loss and sail to the horizon off the map? I wasn't there, but I think about this. They also thought whales and giant squid were monster fish. On open waters can't defend self or protect daughters. Just pray to Catholic fathers and prep for slaughter.
Think about that. Think about it. Think about that. Think about it. Think about that. Think about it. Think about that. Think about it.
Hey yo, think about it. Think about it. When you hear the truth, do you think that you should doubt it? Drew said, what I brought you could shout it. Many make friends with lies, but truth, they want about it. Like a main event on pay-per-view and wanna be champ. With no status, you can line yourself in the drunk tank with Indians of fire water, all in your face. Tax exempt card for Indians, what a disgrace. Indian tax card, get them the liquor so cheap. Before the night start, red dirty Moors lay in a heap. Talking in Ojibwe tongue with skunk drunk speech, jumbled and mumbled like savages from African jungles. Sounding like a power, but no African bongos. Corporate cities use Aboriginal names like Toronto, Mississauga, Ottawa, Niagara, Canada. More civilized, not conquered, Spain and Grenada. Civilized worldwide, north, south, east, and west. We brought science from space heights to sea depths. We brought physics, alchemy, check pyramid texts of Maya, not Egypt. You'll see it if you go to China. Africa is Asia, that's why those from China could find gold in South Africa, working like miners. Africa really belongs to Asiatics. Pygmy bushmen with afros were so nomadic, traveling across hot sand, seas, and forests. Expert navigators, Moors far from novice. We were never meant to just keep Euro shoes polished. You must walk through Moors Gate to go to Deuce College.
Think about that. Think about it. Think about that. Think about it. 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 Think about that. Think about that.
Woo! Hey yo, Stevie, we got this. What more can I say? Much more, just listen. Spit like I'm pissing and elixir mixing. Moorish Master MC Mike Mysticism. 3 minds locked in a cryptic prison. A saw penis, you homos, that's a sundial. No executive let alone Ray Bay run the trial. Standing on a square, no diamond in the air with his hands. No paperwork costing him grands. No friend begging, just vamp chest pegging. At 3:30 upside down circle 7 of the Nova cast. No hover mask on me, my destiny's child was Kelly Rowland, not B. Call her Beyonce. She was a bae once. Before you call it hate in your face, smoke from blunts filled with the maca. Not roll type, but proper in persona. Got 90% of minds in comas. Open up your mind, your third eye blind. Rappers like truth in those darkness rhymes. Open up your mind, your third eye blind. Rappers like truth in those darkness rhymes. Rappers like truth in those darkness rhymes. Rappers like truth in those darkness rhymes. Hey, many times I said it, still gotta say it. I don't spit on mics for radio to play it. Not looking to do shows cause new bros wanna hear rap. Anything whack or pseudo. Tight shirt, skinny jeans, artists, nothing baggy. I pass most that rap, I'm the me. Niggas want Scooby snack tracks, I'm not shaggy. Only Moorish and 90s MCs make me happy. Build pyramids like Large Pro and Pappy. On the run eating cocoa bread and veggie patties. Thinking about what Taj Bey said about Ali. Fix misconceptions, distorted perceptions. Warped views have minds corkscrewed. Running from the sun but tan beds could force hues. Put a split in the illusion, quick and walk through. Put a split in the illusion, quick and talk through. Open up your mind, your third eye blind. Rappers like truth in those darkness rhymes. Open up your mind, your third eye blind. Rappers like truth in those darkness rhymes. Rappers like truth in those darkness rhymes. Rappers like truth in those darkness rhymes. I talk to my ancestral celestial more crew. Bring back 90% mental space for you to exercise higher than electric wires. The self that's not lower, deceptive liars. Getting on microphones, spitting like retards. Lying like they got lines like runaway zebras. Got youths walking like they shit their trousers. Can't even run away acting like rebel rousers. High off the so-called weed, I call it bush and waste some money. No seeds, man, you a dummy. Smoking your life away, following Duns cap, whack rappers beefing over Biggie Blunt raps. On a bottleneck of liquor, they always sucking. Either with their boys or trannies with nuts tucked in. Hip-hop ain't old school, she's just a youngin'. Rap the preemie, stillborn gets all the lovin'. Thinking you got verses, save it for hearses. Commercial rap deathbed on your night nurses. Pull the plug 1 and 2, not daylight. No need to get mad, I'm just doing a favor. Open up your mind, your third eye blind. Rappers like truth in those darkness rhymes. Open up your mind, your third eye blind. Rappers like truth in those darkness rhymes. Rappers like truth in those darkness rhymes. Rappers like truth in those darkness rhymes. MC sarcophagus open, red hooded cloak, soaking of oils essential, glowing from my mental. Some slide with a coward glide out the temple. Arrogant, egotistical, pseudo mystical. Silence from lips telepathic and graphicating with identified shifts. Objects flying in zigzag patterns. My pyramid core looks like a cavern, spiritual war reflecting off the raging cauldron water bubbles. No burning wood smell, no heat but cough doubles. No smoke watching broken puddles. Glass flowing, grass growing, foaming, smoking nozzles to minds. My words are fossils, colossal. Dirty Moors appearing as doubting apostles. Glowing lower chakras, fireflies in bottles. Won't give enough light and minds to get me out the darkness. Spirits around me, soul and heartless. All 5 senses shock watching a walking carcass. Wires poking out from foreheads. Blink to answer iPhones. Mouth tubes going through nose to lungs to smoke hydro. I travel so far, chasing a star. Dodging comets, zooming past quasars. One time I traveled so far, chasing a star. Dodging comets, zooming past quasars. One time I traveled so far, chasing a star. Zooming past comets, dodging quasars. One time I traveled so far, chasing a star. Zooming past comets, dodging quasars. MC sarcophagus open, from slaves to cyborg psychos, hatching through the door as rage leaks from pores. Black hole, not vinyl, watching it spiral. Disciple of the archetypal, hip-hop revival. Impulses versus suicidal impulses. Bonafide genocide, I'm crucifying vultures, not absorbing into cultures. Burst out like Gamma Bay, I'm like Alhambra days. My Valence sunglasses are not rapper shades. I'm seeing aliens with locks and turbans, not grays. Floating off the platform, greeting me with Islam gestures. Blue flame corkscrew around scepters, using a portal as an entrance. Galactic world pendants with some solar flare, double helix necklace. Couldn't believe what I'm seeing, I gotta get this. One time I traveled so far, chasing a star, dodging comets, zooming past quasars. One time I traveled so far, chasing a star, dodging comets, zooming past quasars. One time I traveled so far, chasing a star, zooming past comets, dodging quasars. One time I traveled so far, chasing a star, zooming past comets, dodging quasars.